next challenge is entitled Find the largest numbers in a group of arrays. Create a function that takes an array of arrays with numbers. Return a new single array with the largest numbers of each. So definitely look at the examples to understand this. Alright, this is a little bit new. Notice that we're passed in an array, but each of the elements, there's index 0, here's index 1, here's index 2. Each of these are also arrays. So this one's size 3. Notice they can have different sizes, and we haven't dealt with that yet, like a two-dimensional array. And anyway, you're returning a new array that contains the max value in each of these array elements. So you can clearly see it's 7 here, you can see it's 90 in this collection, and you can see it's 2 in this collection, hence this output. Feel free to continue to these other two examples if that's not clear. Their notes list that we should watch out for negative numbers. It's not a problem, but thanks for the warning. So let's head over to code. Please pause and implement this yourself, then resume when you're ready. They're even sort of throwing a clue at us, right? They brought in link for us. They're nudging us that way, and it's a good way to go. The solution that I came up with is shorter than you may anticipate. And so I suspect what's hard here probably is kind of imagining the two-dimensional array. It's a little strange at first, and so that's probably the hardest part about doing this. But we will note that arrays are enumerable. We learned that throughout this series, and you can see if I go to this arrays class, in case you forgot, it implements the IEnumerable interface, so it's enumerable. And so we can leverage that class's methods in coming up with a solution. And we've scrolled through this list before, and I find this one to be very helpful here. Select projects each element of a sequence into a new form. So you can think of applying this general statement to our case. Each element would be an array, and we're going to put it into a new form, which is just going to be a single number instead of a collection of numbers. We just want the one maximum value, or a maximum value if multiple are present. So that looks pretty useful. We can turn values, select. Okay, select. So let's go with enumerable T source. We will use this. Here's an example if you'd like to see it. This one was used to produce squares. Select. So we will pass it a lambda function to do what we want it to do. It's going to take this source and return a result. And in our case, we have an array of doubles. So now what kind of lambda function do we put in here to get the maximum value? Now remember, before we've typically done this with strings, which were like IEnumerable of type char. In this case, you can think of the IEnumerable as being of type double array. So our parameter here is actually an array, so I'll name my variable this to try and make it clear that we're dealing with an array for each element that we go through in this values collection. Remember, it's going to iterate over all of them and take one at a time and each of those elements is going to be itself a double array. So what can we do with this parameter, this element, to find a maximum value? And you'll note that enumerable has this quite handy max method. Returns the maximum value in a sequence of values. That's perfect. In our case, we're dealing with doubles. So, yeah, that would be ours. Returns a double. Maximum value in the sequence. Feel free to look at the example if you'd like. But that's perfect for us. So I will say array.max. I'm taking the array and I'm going to return, I'm going to grab the max value from it. And so this select will go through each of the arrays in this two-dimensional array, each time grabbing the max value and transforming it into this new collection. So as usual, our output has been, our return types rather, have been arrays. This one's a double array, so we know that the enumerable collection has this two-array method to transform it into an array. And I think this will actually do it right here. So it's nice and short. Let's run it. And yeah, we passed. Good. So yeah, nice simple one-liner, nice and readable, and hopefully the two-dimensional array, this probably looks really weird and you may be struggling to envision what that's like, but it'll get easier in time, so stay with it. Maybe it didn't cause you too much trouble, that'd be good too. But yeah, typically we've been doing that where each of the elements was a simple type, you know what I mean? It wasn't a collection, it was a char, maybe it was a string or an integer. And this time it's a little weird because it's an array. You have an array of arrays. So yeah, ponder that a little bit, wrap your head around it, and hit me up with any questions as they come up. Thanks for watching.